All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? Happy Thursday to you. It is Thursday, June 30th, 2022. This morning, we're going to talk a little bit about building high-level relationships. How do you get relationships built with people that you want to build relationships with? Mentors, people you look up to, people that might be floating around you online. How do you actually build relationships with those people? We're going to unpack that this morning. Let's get started. It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up. What's happening, guys? Happy Thursday to you. Hope you guys are off to an awesome morning. I certainly am. Got a great workout in at the gym this morning. It's amazing how good you feel after you put it in at the gym and you walk out of there feeling accomplished. What a great way to start the day. I hope you guys are off to a good start as well. So as I said yesterday, I want to spend today and tomorrow talking about, building relationships. This past weekend, several people who I have had the opportunity to build relationships with came to our event in Pittsburgh, and we're able to deliver messages to our group, to the Top Contractor School Inner Circle group. And so a lot of people were asking, how did I meet these people? How did I meet Mitzi Purdue? How did I meet William James? And how have I maintained relationships with those people? In the case of Will, it's been since high school, maintaining that relationship or rekindling that relationship. He spent 10 years in the NFL. So, over those years, we kind of lost touch a little bit and then reconnected. And so how do you do that, right? And I think it's important for you guys to understand, some of the tactical things that you can do that allow you to put you in the right position to be able to build relationships with almost anybody that you want these days, right? So the cool thing about what's going on in the world with social media and the connection and the availability to get in front of people and connect with people is how much opportunity there is to be able to do that. And then, we have the opportunity to do things like this where you can connect over video calls. You can build a better relationship and a lot more trust over video than you ever could in the comment section, for example. So there's kind of tiers to how you do it, and how you actually build a real relationship, a real friendship with people. And I want to share some of those tips with you this morning. But the first thing that I want to do is just say good morning to some folks that are hanging out here with us this morning. Mr. Daniel Good, good morning to you, man. John Stanton. Catherine, good morning to you. Catherine's coming in from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She is my cousin Tom's wife. So good morning to you. Alton, good morning. Bruce Mills, what's happening, brother? Good morning to you. Randy, Steve, Steven, Todd, Nick, Amy, good morning to you guys, and thanks for being here. So I think, by the way, let's just start by saying this. I think that the way that people build relationships today, the ability to open the door the way that social media does, the way the technology does, making people a little more accessible, actually can have an exact negative effect compared to what you're trying to do if you're not careful, right? Because one of the things that I will say is don't become a borderline crazy fan of anybody, because that is a turn off for people, right? That's one of the things that you don't want to do. What you do want to do is become visible to people, right? And how do you become visible to people? Well, in my world now, I become visible in a lot of cases through other people, through other friends that I have. So in the case of Mitzi Purdue, that was somebody that I was able to meet through another friend that I've built a relationship with over the last 3 years, Mark Victor Hansen. And so Mark invited Lori and I to an event. Mitzi happened to be there, and I was able to build over a couple of day period a really great relationship with Mitzi and a friendship that will last forever, right? And So let me take it back to, how did I build a relationship with Mark? Because that is really how I ended up meeting Mitzi in the first place. So I was introduced to Mark Victor Hansen by another friend of mine, Ken Walls. It was just somebody like, hey, you guys should know each other. Why did Ken introduce me? Well, I spent years building a relationship with Ken. And really, that relationship with Ken started by exchanging value, right? By me being present, me being interested, me watching Ken's live streams, interacting with him on social media, supporting what he was doing. When I say support, guys, I do not mean that you have to always, spend money to support people. Understand this. Like, you guys that are on this stream, like I see you every morning, that means something to me, right? So if you are looking at somebody like Mark Victor Hansen, for example, he's the number one author of all time. He holds the Guinness Book of World Records for the most books sold all time. That's somebody that you might want to get to know. So how would you do that if you were starting from scratch and you didn't have any connection to him? Well, the easiest thing to do is go look online at what Mark is interested in, what Mark is doing, and then, start sharing in the comments section of his posts. Like, start putting meaningful comments about the things that you can figure out about Mark. And when I'm saying this, guys, this is not some like trick or some, version of manipulation. It's just straight up how you build a relationship in real life. It's the only way that I know that you can actually procure a friendship or a relationship. And that is, to get interested in the other person. Like, who is this person and what can I find out about them? What are their hobbies and what do they like to do? And in Mark's case, one of the things he likes to do is exercise every day. He loves to hike. He loves his wife. He loves his family. There's a lot of things that you could find out if you just went on to his public profile and you started looking at what he does. He has the Mark Victor Hansen library. So maybe you would go and read some of the books that the Mark Victor Hansen library has created. Maybe you would go follow and learn about some of the people that they have written the books on behalf of. There's a lot of things that you can do in order to put in the work to position yourself to actually be able to build that relationship. Now, let me go back to what I said in the beginning, which is, there's a limit here to like where you become weird. And so I want to be clear about that. Don't be some like crazy person that's like, borderline stalking these people. It's just a genuine interest. And the biggest thing that I would say that you guys have to realize is that these things take time, and this isn't something where you like, close a deal, you like push to close something, or it's easy or quick to build a relationship. Those things, it's a two-way street to build a friendship and a relationship. And the longer that you invest time into, being interested in a person and really learning about them, it actually is natural to develop some sort of relationship. Now, where does the relationship go? Well, that's dependent on a variety of factors, right? Like, and some of those, to be frank, are, what do you have to contribute to that situation, to that relationship, right? There's a lot of ways that you can build value into someone's life. Like, you guys that show up here every morning, man, it's a valuable piece of my life to have this community, to have you guys show up. I appreciate it. And I see you, and I appreciate that. And so what I would say is like, figure out what it is that you can contribute to these people. Like, what is it that you could do that's meaningful to them? In the case of Mitzi, she is, her big mission is human trafficking, eliminating human trafficking. And so those are things that you can figure out. She's written books on how to make your family business last. So family business is a big deal to her. Read somebody's book, read their information that's available online, watch their YouTube videos, and you can truly get to know that person as a result of that. And, so when I am trying to build a relationship with someone, I go and watch all these things and I read all these things because I'm genuinely interested in the person. it's not because I want to go build a relationship because of what that relationship can do for me. And that's the kind of tricky part of why a lot of people fail at building these relationships. If I have genuine interest in someone, there's generally a reason why. So like in the case of Mitzi, she's such an interesting person. She's an amazing person. She has a lot of knowledge when it comes to family business that I have a high level of interest in, because I'm very interested in how businesses last. In her case, a century or more, right? In her family, family businesses have lasted the test of time. And so I genuinely have an interest there. And so my education about that person, about her family history, about the businesses that she's part of, about the missions that she's part of, really comes down to I am interested in the same things as her. And so let me go back to the thing that I said earlier about don't become a fanboy or a fangirl because it puts you in a different box. What you're really trying to do, and this goes for people who are trying to build real relationships that can exchange value, not take value, not just give value, but exchange value, that you become really good friends. You share the same values, you share the same mission in life or a similar mission in life, and you can absolutely help each other. Well, when you get to that point, putting in the work, really researching the people, doing the things necessary to be able to build that relationship, it really should come second nature. But if you make the mistake of being a fanboy or a fangirl, it makes it more difficult for you to build a relationship, because that person's going to become hesitant of like, what does this person want from me? Think about that. And so when you're in the presence of this person, let's say you go to an event that, this person is speaking at, your interactions with that person will either increase the likelihood that you have a great relationship with that person or a relationship at all, or it will decrease the chance that you ever have a relationship with them. And so what does that mean? Well, one example is, lots of people, and don't take this the wrong way, lots of people love to take pictures with people. And so it just depends on what you want your relationship with that person to be. Like if you actually plan on doing business with that person, taking a photograph with that person puts you in a different category. I'll let you think about that and ruminate on that and figure out what that means. But like when you take a photograph with someone, what does that mean? Well, people take photographs with athletes, for example, because they're a fan, right? And so how you position yourself in these relationships and how you build high-level relationships is not to do the things that everybody else does, to actually position yourself differently. I've done this with several people that I've yet to build a relationship with, but that I was in the presence of, and I had an opportunity to kind of, shake their hand, take a picture. Everybody else was taking a picture, and I declined. I won't do that because I value the potential future relationship, and I don't want to be put in that category where they would remember me being just like everybody else. I hope that makes sense to you guys, and I hope that you understand where I'm coming from there. I'm not telling you not to take pictures with people. I'm telling you to think about what that means when you do it. And so when you're building high-level relationships, it really comes down to the work that you put in on the front end, the value that you can actually deliver to this person. Now, when I say value, what does that mean? Any way that you can build value. A lot of times, the easiest way to build value, like if somebody comments on all of my Instagram posts, and it's not just fire emojis or fist bumps, but it's meaningful comments, I read those, right? I appreciate that because it means that someone is actually following along on what I do, and that is meaningful. That means something to me. It's very important to me that, people are in this community that we're building, of people that like-minded people that are trying to build a better life, trying to build a better business. And so when somebody does that, they stand out to me. Well, that's the same, guys, for everyone. And you would be blown away at the high level people that I meet that would stand out very clearly to, right? Like people that are in extremely high positions that just they're not, social media focused people. And so their comment section isn't too full. So you can get in the comment section and get noticed very easily, even with those folks who have hundreds of comments in all of their posts. You can get in their comments, and if you do it regularly enough, they're going to see your name in their comment section. They're going to see your name in their notifications, and eventually you're going to get on their radar. And so it's really about giving first, right? It's about, finding a way to give, educating yourself, really getting to know this individual on a level of available information that's out there for anybody to look at. And then just step by step, man, you let it unfold just like a natural relationship. If somebody has, an environment where you can, join a mastermind or something like that, that definitely has the ability to accelerate your ability to get close to this person and build a relationship. But how you do that once you get engaged, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, once you get engaged with that person, it's super important how you act and how you behave and how you deliver value in those situations, as to, again, not seem like you're trying too hard or give that person any reason to think like, what's going on here? Or what does this person want from me? But I hope this helps, guys, of like just how you get the attention of people that you look up to, people that you'd like to interact with, anybody that you'd like to build a relationship with. I'll summarize it by just saying it takes time, and it's natural. It's not something that's forced. Sometimes it's not a good fit and you don't realize that. You might be a fan, but maybe the relationship's not a good fit, and you can't force that, right? So at the end of the day, if the person that you look up to isn't responding, you can keep trying. You can keep, delivering value, but not 100% of the time is it going to work. And that's okay, right? You just move on and still respect the person, still look up to them, still learn from them. But maybe you won't build a relationship. But most of the time, you're going to be able to build a relationship with these people if you can last long enough hanging in there and delivering value to this person. So again, tomorrow we're going to talk about once you have contact, once you have an interaction, once you get in the presence of these people, how do you take that relationship to the next level? And I'll talk about how I've done that with the same people that we're talking about this morning. And hopefully that will be helpful to you. So wishing you guys an amazing Thursday. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.